I'm sure the officer will agree that blackmail is a very serious offense.
Blackmail? I don't know what you mean.
And I'll spell it out for you, Mrs. Lindsay. Blackmail is extortion of money by threat of exposure with documents or some other evidence. Punishable by,
10 years in jail.
You never said you were a policeman.
You never asked.
Look, it's not me, it's him, Clive.
It always is.
No, he made me do it. Well, look, he's not my husband, he's just this guy I know. It was his idea. He made me do it, I had to.
blackmail.
Yeah. Well, sort of. He thought the whole thing up and he just told me what to do. Look, here's the negatives. I'll tear them up, I swear. Look, just let's forget the whole thing, huh?
Oh, I'm afraid I can't do that. I mean, the officer can't just forget about it. Crime has been committed and the offenders have been caught. Haven't you?
Look, I never wanted to get mixed up in all this. I just want to get as far away from him as possible.
I think he's already seen to that.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. That's typical of him. He won't show his face within a mile from here. He'll just leave me to face the music. If I have to.
No. What do you think, officer?
Oh, I don't know. You know, if the inspector found out, I'd be for the high jump. I tell you what. You go and find your friend and tell him that we're onto him. And when we catch him, and we will, you'll both get what you deserve. Now get out of here before I change my mind. Oh, one moment, young lady. The negatives, please.
Here. And the damn things. I wish I'd never seen them.
Dr. Rothwell, if you please.
You get the negatives when I get my fee.
Hey, come on now. Come on. Stop fooling around. Thank you very much. Oh, look, Craig. If ever I can do you a favor.
You know, I might take you up on that sometime.
Poor old Ada. Yeah. I mean, you think she were going into surgery? Yeah. I must say, though, Arthur is a perfect patient. Oh, I only hope the operation will be a success, don't you? Yes. Jolie, what's wrong? You haven't heard a word I've said. Doesn't night duty agree with you? I tell you, there's nothing wrong.
There are about 15 patients out there. It's going to take you 10 minutes to arrange a cubicle each time. It's going to be a long, long night. Nurse, would you bring one person in here and one person to my desk? That's the only way we're going to clear the backlog.
Yes, Doctor. Now, do you believe me?
Russell, it says here you were in the other night complaining of the same pain. Now, where did you say that pain was? I thought you said it was over here.
Oh, yeah. There.
I see.
Dr. Richards, a moment, please.
Excuse me.
Dr. Richards, are you aware you've been 20 minutes with that boy, and we have a waiting room full?
I am, Dr. Steele. I am also aware there is something wrong with him, and he is my patient for the moment and shall remain so until I am fully satisfied that I have done everything I can for him.
Would you like some help with the diagnosis?
No, thank you, Dr. Steele. Now, if you've finished... Russell, is your mother here with you?
No.
Where is she?
With my dad.
And where's your dad?
Where he is every night. In the pub.
Oh, and where did you say that pain was, Russell?
Dr. Andrews, could you help us down here? There's like a battlefield down here at the moment, just for an hour or two. No, Dr. Shaw's tied up as well. No? Okay, we'll manage. Dr. Richards will be with you in a moment. Nurse, could you try and help that man make it a bit more comfortable until Dr. Richards is ready for him?
Yes, Doctor. Here you are, Russell. Now, off you go, and remember to take those tablets.
Glucose, Dr. Richards. It's taken you 20 minutes to prescribe glucose tablets.
No, Dr. Steele. It has taken me 20 minutes to discover that his problem is he is lonely. His parents are at the pub every night. He lives near the hospital, and he pretends he's ill so he could come here for company. Now, what would you prescribe for that, Dr. Steele? Now, if you'll excuse me, I'll continue.
Nurse. Nurse Warner. I asked to have those x-rays made ready for viewing. Now, either pull your weight around this department or I'll arrange for your transfer. There's no room around here for malingerers.
Sorry, Doctor, I was just checking to see that
Oh, spare me the excuses, please, just to get on with it.
Nurse Warner.
Oh, I'll do that. You go and see what Dr. Richards wants.
Yes, Dr. Steele.
Take Mrs. Nicholas down to plaster. And here's her card. Hurry, please. We have a lot of people waiting.
Orderly. Yes, sir.
Now let's look at your arm.
Sorry, Doctor, I slipped.
You should know better than to try and lift a patient by yourself, Nurse Warner. What is wrong with you? Thank you, Orderly.
Nurse, I'll require an anti-tetanus. Be with you in a minute.
Yes, Doctor.
What's wrong?
Oh, nothing. Really, I just shouldn't have lifted that patient on my own, that's all.
Well, never mind. No harm done. Maybe you should take 10 minutes rest.
No, fine. Really? I'll get the next patient.
Dr. Richards, please.
Oh, hello, young man. You being looked after?
Oh, yes, thanks.
Good.
You know, we could be in trouble ourselves for not reporting those two to the real police.
Well, it's up to me to lay charges, and I don't want to. In an odd sort of way, I owe that young lady my thanks.
It's a very odd sort of way in my book.
No, I've learned not to get involved with young and attractive women. It could have been very nasty. I'm just glad to get her off my back.
Then take a word of advice for free. There are plenty of women who'd appreciate your company. You know, I always thought you'd end up with a woman like Helen Gordon.
Well, I never saw you in the role of matchmaker, Craig. Yeah, maybe you're right. Helen is an attractive and intelligent woman. I've been a fool, Craig.
Ah, I'm glad you two are here. I've just been to see Deborah Kendall. She's been asking for you, Dr. Rothwell. Seems she's been having some sort of pain. I can't find anything wrong, but she's definitely unsettled. I know it's late, but I wonder if you could find the time to drop by and see her.
Well, Dr. Shaw once told me that we're on duty 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Of course I'll go and see her.
I'll come too. Maybe I can help.
Ah, Nurse Warner. Been a busy evening, I hear.
Oh, hello, Dr. Denham. Yes, very busy. Keeps us occupied.
You look as though you could do with a good long rest. Do you on duty tomorrow?
Yes, later on.
Well, make sure you get a good night's sleep.
I will. Good night, Dr. Denham.
Good night.
So, as a patient, I just sit there, grit my teeth, forget about the pain I'm in, while you and your patient discusses complete medical history from childhood illnesses onwards.
All of which could be relevant. It's only by asking questions and more questions that we can discover the underlying problem.
You missed the point, Doctor. This is a casualty department. Casualty, accidents, people with immediate and painful problems which require our prompt attention.
What about that boy, Dr. Steele? Is he a casualty? Do we shove him off, or should we try and find out what his problem really is? Well, because I've spent some time with him, I know what his problem is. And now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to try and help him just a little bit more, in my own time.
Oh, I tell you, this place is like a morgue. I'm so bored. There's only one thing relieves the monotony around here. Hang on, I think he's coming. No, I'll tell you later. Okay, then. Bye.
Miss Kendall.
Oh, hi. Nice of you to call.
I understand you've been having a lot of pain. Where exactly?
Here. Ow!
All right, and what sort of a pain is it?
A sort of sharp, lingering one.
Mm-hmm.
How long have you had it?
Most of the night. While you've been out with some very attractive young lady, I suppose.
Yes, you could say that. And you did the right thing to call me. I don't like the look of this. I'll be absolutely honest with you. I think we're going to have to operate immediately. Nurse, could you ask the sister to prepare the theatre, please?
I'll contact her father and let him know.
Good.
No, wait. It's gone. I feel a lot better, thanks.
And I only laid a hand on her.
I'm feeling very tired. I think I need some rest, so if you'd kindly please leave me alone.
Good night.
Good night. And if you want anything, don't hesitate to call.
Well, what are you grinning at?
Just you wait, Dr. Craig Rothwell.
Come in, Dr. Steele. Please sit down. Oh, what can I do for you?
It's good of you to see me, Dr. Denham. I hate to bother you, but it is rather a tricky problem.
No, what's a tricky problem?
Well, you know, down in Casualty, there are times when it gets very busy.
Like last night.
Yes, you heard. Well, I have to make a complaint about Dr. Richards.
Dr. Richards?
Yes. Oh, I'm not complaining about her work. She's a fine doctor. It's the amount of time she spends with each patient which concerns me.
Go on.
Well, you know how it is down there. People expect to be seen at once. And they should be. Seen, treated, dismissed. It's not right to keep them waiting any longer than is absolutely necessary. Mostly they're in pain, frightened. They need reassurance.
Yes, Doctor, we know all that.
Dr. Richards, I feel, spends too much time on trifling matters. Matters which, in my opinion, don't concern the immediate problem. I see maybe twice the number of patients she does. It's not fair on her colleagues. It increases their working load.
Maybe you and your colleagues don't offer the same service to patients as Dr. Richards does. Perhaps you spend too little time.
That's hardly fair, Dr. Denham. Casualty department has always worked well before. We treat it for what it is, a casualty department. With respect, Dr. Richards, I feel, would be better off in general practice if that's the way she works. I know you have a high opinion of her, Doctor, but I really feel something has to be done.
And I have a very high opinion of you too, Dr. Steele, you know that. And maybe she hasn't got used to our routine yet. She'll settle in.
I have explained our routine to her thoroughly.
Yes, Doctor, I'm sure you have. Look, I'll have a word with her. Everything will be all right. New doctors all need a little bit of time to settle down.
I wish I had your faith, Doctor. Well, thank you for your time.
Oh, Helen, could you contact Dr. Richards and make an appointment for her to see me sometime this morning, please?
Hi, Julie. Hey, do you know what time it is?
Yeah, I'm just getting ready.
Hey, you look awful. I knew there was something wrong with you.
I'm all right, Tanya. Really.
Hey, sit down.
No, I'm not. Oh, well, I guess the hours have caught up with me. I didn't sleep very well.
Oh, gee.
It's nothing serious. Will you tell Sister Gibbs I'll take a couple of hours off? I'll be fine by this evening.
Oh, if you're sure, but I think you should get someone to have a look at you.
Just let me get some rest. It's nothing a couple of hours sleep won't cure.
All right. See you.
Come in. Ah, Dr. Richards. Thanks for coming up. Please sit down.
Nothing's wrong, I hope.
No, nothing's wrong. I just wanted to see how things are going, how you're settling in.
Oh, fine. I'm finding it immensely enjoyable. It's interesting, and the cases are also different.
And by all accounts, I do get to know what's going on. You're certainly living up to your reputation. You're astute and very thorough.
And Dr. Steele thinks I'm too thorough, is that it?
Well, I don't think a doctor can be too thorough, but in a casualty department, there's always the problem of too many patients and not enough doctors. Now, Dr. Steele tells me that you're only seeing half the number of patients that the others are.
And as the new girl, I'm in the wrong.
Oh, no, not
Now
necessarily.
listen to this, Dr. Denham. This subject isn't new to me. It's one that I've studied and really worked on. I am very well aware of the problem. I try and be fair to my patients, and maybe sometimes I do go too far the wrong way. But there's got to be a happy medium, and I'm going to find where that is. It'll be trial and error, but I'll find it.
Good. Well, I'm glad we've had this discussion. But in the meantime, try not to keep our patients waiting too long, eh?
Sometime we should sit down and really discuss this, and then you could write one of your famous papers on it, and you can quote me in it.
We'll do that. Oh, by the way, If you find time, you think you could drop by and see Nurse Warner? She didn't look at all well when I saw her last night, and she's off duty today. Just confirm what I suspect it is, that she's been overdoing things a bit.
Well, well, well. I like a doctor who's concerned about his staff as well as his patients. I'll be glad to, anytime.
Oh, I'm sorry, Brian. Helen's not out there. I didn't know you had somebody with you.
Come in, Raymond.
I was just leaving.
Susan. Well, fine young lady, that. We could use a few more like her.
Yes, the more I see of her, the better I like her. Well, what can I do for you?
Well, Helen said you wanted me.
No, you made an appointment yesterday, an urgent appointment. Had to see me as soon as possible.
Oh, that, yes. I'm sorry, the problem solved itself. I forgot.
There's nothing I can do then?
No, not now. There was a bit of a crisis, but it passed, and I'm happy.
Good. I hate to see my senior surgeon wandering around with the cares of the world on his shoulders. Oh, apart from hospital business, of course.
Look, Brian, there are a few things I wanted to discuss with you, but first, how's Laura?
Well, I'm not sure. I've spoken to her a couple of times on the phone. Ah, she worries me, Raymond. It's odd. She sounds completely different. I can hardly put a face to the voice.
Well, we all knew what to expect after the treatment.
Yes, but I didn't expect it to be as drastic as that. Her mother phones from Melbourne every other day. Raymond, I'm worried about the effect all this is going to have on young Toby. She's a completely different person. I can't handle it.
Yes, you can, Brian, but not from a distance. I think you ought to go to Melbourne and see her. Talk to her. I think probably she's as confused as you are, even more so. She needs reassurance.
Thanks, Raymond. I need reassurance, too.
Do you have any other symptoms, Julie? Headache, temperature?
No, not really. I just feel tired. I feel like I've got the flu, but I haven't. You know what I mean? Like I've got a temperature, only I haven't. No energy. Been told off more times in these past few days for not pulling my weight around here than I have the whole time I've been in the hospital. And I can't help it. I try to keep up, but people just don't understand. I just feel tired.
What about childhood diseases?
All the usual ones, chickenpox, measles, that sort of thing.
Anything more serious?
No, I don't think so. Why?
Would your mother know if you had?
No, she was hardly ever around.
Would anybody else know?
Why? What is it, Doctor? What do you think is wrong with me?
Well, I don't know, Julie. But if you don't mind, I would like to run some tests. Calm after the storm.
Yes, you could say that.
Then we have some time to talk.
What about?
Dr. Denham. He called me into his office this morning. And I'd just like you to know that I appreciate your point of view. And in the future, I will try to use my judgment and not spend so much time with people.
I only asked that, Doctor. No more. Remember, there are specialized clinics you can refer your patients to. For instance, that little chap last night should have spent 3 minutes with you and half an hour with some welfare ladies.
Point taken. Maybe if we increased the staff, it would help.
I think if that were possible, Dr. Denham would have done that. But there are times like these when it would be a total waste to have 4 or 5 doctors standing around doing nothing. Now, our staffing arrangements are organized over a long period of time.
Okay, I'll leave it at that. I'm still not 100% convinced, but it's 2 against 1, and I'm the one. Nurse Warner, look, as long as it's so quiet around here, why don't we go over those notes you asked me about? We could do it in private. Dr. Steele, we'll be in examination room 4 if you want either of us.
Just a minute. I'd like a private word with Nurse Warner first, if I may.
Oh, certainly. I'll go over and lay the notes out. You can come over when you're finished.
Take 5, Nurse, while you have the chance.
Oh, okay, Dr. Steele. Thanks. I'm sorry, Dr. Steele, I was just asking Dr.
Well, that doesn't concern me. I just wanted to apologize for yesterday, the way I spoke to you. I understand you weren't well.
Oh, that's all right. You didn't know.
Nothing serious, I hope. I mean...
Oh, no. I'm fine. I was just tired, that's all.
Good. I was wondering if we could have dinner together soon. Sort of make sure you get away from all this and relax. It'll do you good.
Well, thanks, I'd like that. I'm sorry about last night.
Yes. Well, you better go, Dr. Richards will be waiting for you.
Nurse, could you possibly get me a new magazine? I've read this cover to cover.
Okay.
That's all right, nurse. This is only a social call.
Yes, Doctor.
Well, what a pleasant surprise. And on your own, too.
Well, you are very much better, I can see that. Is that pain all gone?
No, it hasn't.
Come on.
Yes, it has. And I'm bored. Nothing to do all day except lie here looking at the ceiling. When can I get out of bed?
Well, not for a few days yet. You don't want to do too much too soon. Oh, I brought this for you.
You really are the most incredible man. Thank you, Craig.
That's all right.
Do you know, when I get out of here, I'm going to have the biggest party this place has ever seen. And you will be the guest of honor.
Well, there's no need for that. I was merely doing my job. I'm just very glad everything went well.
Well, I wanted to thank you somehow. You saved my life.
Yes, well, you can forget about the party. I'd probably be far too busy to make it anyway, but you can show your thanks by getting better, and soon. I'm on my way now, so I'll call in on you later.
I'll look forward to that.
Mm-hmm.
And, Doctor,
Yeah?
if I have a relapse, can I call on you?
Of course you can. But Dr. Shaw will probably arrive.
It's Susan Richards, Dr. Patterson. I'm in examination room 4. Can you spare a few minutes? Oh, I see. Oh, no, it's not that kind of an emergency. Very well. Thank you, Dr. Patterson.
What do you want Dr. Patterson for?
A second opinion, Julie. It's common practice, you know that.
Second opinion of what? What have you found?
Oh, they say doctors make bad patients. Now just lie back. I'd like to take a few more tests, get some x-rays, and get Dr. Patterson's opinion. He's more qualified than I am.
That'd be silly. He's got enough to do.
Well, what have we got here, Dr. Richards? Some sort of experiment. You're using our nurses as guinea pigs, are you?
Nurse Warner wasn't feeling too well, so I just ran a few tests.
Oh, you've been overdoing it a bit, have you, Julie?
May I have a word with you, Dr. Rothwell?
Sure, Doctor.